How's it going, everyone? Colby Cheese here with another of my LCS game recaps against Lemondog versus OMG. And this is, as I would probably like to say, one of the most action-packed and close games that I've seen so far. Now we have a trade back and forth, 1-for-1 in the top lane early on in the game, and it just keeps on getting crazier from there. As they do swap back down to the bottom lane, though, there is no longer a trade, but an extra kill for OMG Sen, putting OMG up just a little bit, now up around 3,000 gold, but it's not going to stop Lemondogs just yet because they're not out of the game. However, OMG is definitely going to take advantage of their small lead, and they start to group up here and remove all of the turrets from the map. And I did want to highlight this because it's now about 17.5 minutes with very small amount of kills, and this is really the only thing that happened early on in the game, but it did give OMG that kind of early game advantage in order to kind of shove down those turrets, and there wasn't really anything that Lemondogs could do against this 4v3 situation, and they didn't want to throw the game here, so they just back off. Now, as they decide to keep on doing this, Lemondogs has had enough, and they jump in here. Lemondogs going in for the engage. Nukedug gets a great fish onto the Kinnan, destroys him almost instantly, and a 4-man Sona Crescendo locks down the rest of OMG as Tabs tries to jump in here for the cleanup. He does take a lot of damage from OMG Cool. However, he is able to do a little bit of extra damage and tries to flash out, but San is there to pick that up and gets the reset on his jump and is able to leap away to safety, and they weren't able to finish off that mid turret as she is there to defend it. Overall, though, they do continue their pressure and try and go on a ganking spree. They take out Going because of the double Abyssal Scepter start that Kinnan and Cool had to pick up, so they have kind of a weaker mid game. They do decide to actually gank Nukedug during the middle of that fight on the top lane there, so they do get something out of that. A little bit later, Nukedug finds San in the top lane and just completely destroys him. Now, I have a little bit of freeze here on a zoo, but I had to switch over to Twitch a bit later. But there was also a fight in the mid lane. Going, trying to get a nice little ultimate off, does get a bit of damage on a zero, and Tabs is able to fall down to the support. Loveland goes down, and overall, it's a fairly even trade, but no objectives taken in there. Just a bit later, now at 25 minutes, Lemondogs decides to go ahead and vie for the dragon control, and they do a good job of actually kind of holding them back while Dexter takes it out, and they grab a free dragon there. OMG Sen not wanting to engage at this point, but they instead decide to go ahead and try and shove down that turret because they are all about the objectives in this game. That's really exciting to see. Now, Lemondogs gets a great engage. Mithy with the flash Sona Crescendo. And look at this as Going pops his Zanyas and then ults, not hitting anyone and really too low to make anything happen. Now, Nukedug is kind of caught out here, but he does block a lot of damage with his Zanyas and is able to get that reset on his fishy jump and flies out of there in a safe spot. Zoro is able to run out safely, and there's a double kill for Tabs as he flashes over the wall. And overall, kind of just tying the game up a little bit. Now, Lemondogs will grab yet another dragon, and that puts the game extremely close, just a few hundred gold off, especially at 32 minutes. That is just nothing at all, and it's all up to the next team fight. But this is where the game starts to go extremely sour. Now, notice the position of everyone. You've got Nukedug way in the front, trying to use all of his escapes, and he jumps in just to throw an ultimate and then flashes out, now in a really bad position, and that allows Going to jump in there and Zanyas while doing a large amount of AoE damage to the entire team. They do turn this around, and Nukedug still behind the enemy turret trying to do some damage, is not able to assassinate anyone, and overall ends up costing them the life of Dexter. He wastes so much time dying that OMG is actually able to kill him and goes straight to Baron without anything being contested, and this allows them to pretty much have the full game in their control as they now use the range of Tristana to take down the inhibitor. And this is just really a sad ending to this game because of one misplay and a little bit of overconfidence from Nukedug. Now they just kind of start to fall apart as Zoro Zero is so weak right now. He's just not tanking up. You see that he bought a Sork boots rather than some magic resist, and every time he jumps into a fight, he is instantly charmed by Ahri. I do have to give it to Cool. He does a great job of seeing that Zek come in and pulls him out of the fight almost instantly. Now, I'm just going to speed this up here as they do continue to push down this turret. There's really nothing that Lemondogs can do at this point. They are, even though it's only like 4,000 gold, in a sense, they are pretty much too behind to do anything. Now Split right now trying to get back control of that Baron, but once again Zoro Zero just completely whiffs his jump into the enemy team, gets bursted down really quickly. Going gets an amazing ultimate off into 3 of the critical people in the team, and there's Cool coming in from behind and completely assassinating out Tabs. And without their AD carry, there's nothing they have left to do to fight this out. New Doug does actually do a cool play here, and he jukes out of Loveland's Q, able to finish him off there, but it really doesn't matter because with the rest of Lemondogs taken out and the kill going to Zyroplants, they're able to easily shove into the rest of the base. They do have that Tristana there, and it's going to be enough to finish off that Nexus with those long cooldown timers. So thank you guys for watching this very exciting game, and I'll see you around for the next one. I'm Colby Cheese. Peace out, guys.